This is Motorsport Radio.
Hello and welcome to Motorsport Radio. We are back with another fantastic interview today. We have two rising stars of the Ginetta Junior field who will be hoping to really take the storm this year. Obviously, because of COVID, there has been a lot of restrictions from last year's championship and onto this year, but it's fantastic that we still get to talk to these drivers face to face. And so I just want to say a big welcome to Maurice Henry and Liam McNeilly. How are both of you doing today, Maurice?
I'm good, thank you.
And yourself, Liam?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you, Connor?
I'm very good. Obviously, it's been a roller coaster last couple of years for you guys. Liam, yourself, you are a familiar name for the Ginetta Junior Championship now. It was a great debut season for you last year. You really got the foot in. And I think a lot of people who are watching on TV really appreciate the racing that Ginetta Juniors is showing from its ultra competitiveness. And you showed that last year by pulling off some fantastic moves. How does it feel coming back for a second season of what one of the country's top?
Well, obviously I'm going to feel more confident and going to feel more with the car going into the season, going to feel more mature, and hopefully we can go into the championship with some more set up information and just be able to set up the car better this season and hopefully be in with a chance for a top 5 in the championship.
Fantastic. As you said, it's been interesting to get your head around the cars, because I know it's obviously a very different world to karting that I think both of you are used to, but you're fitting nicely into the Fox Motorsport team. So, Liam, is there anything you can take away from last year that you really want to improve on for this year?
Well, I feel like my qualifying performances weren't the best last year. I definitely could have improved on my one lap pace, but hopefully I can just qualify better, manage to qualify higher up the field and get some race podiums.
Fantastic. And I'll just bring your teammate in, Maurice. It's been interesting to see some of the new drivers come through, and yourself, Maurice, is a fantastic young face to be bringing in to the motorsport world. You'll be teammates this year at Fox Motorsport with Liam. How does it feel getting to grips with a new environment?
It's been very good so far. Winning the scholarship was good to get the opportunity to be on the Ginetta grid. I'm happy to be teammates with Liam as well. And as well as he's an experienced driver, it helps me to be able to learn stuff off Liam and to get the grips as quick as possible.
I'll say for a lot of young drivers, you have come through the karting scene like a lot of people, but you have had a rather interesting 2020 with some perhaps more unexpected driving. Do you want to tell us a bit more about what happened last year?
Yeah, so last year I was doing the Junior Rally Championship. It was going really well. We won the first round of the 2020 opener, but then COVID shut down the rest of the season. So, it was looking good for a good season, but unfortunately, it was shut down. But I put my hopes in the Ginetta Junior scholarship, and we managed to win that. And from there, I'm just trying to progress as much as possible, get as used to the car as possible to be as comfortable for the first round.
Lovely, fantastic. Obviously, we are going on to some of the best racing in the UK with the Ginetta Junior Championship, but it is going to be a different attitude to how we fans have experienced it in years gone by, obviously without the crowds there. But for both of you, this is, I suppose, becoming a bit of a familiar sight now, having to race without anyone around. Have you noticed any major changes from when you were racing in cars, in karting even? Liam, do you want to start?
Well, yeah, there's obviously not much of a outer paddock now. There's not many people to share some moments with as much. You kind of walk around the paddock and it's just empty. You don't really feel an atmosphere such as. So yeah, it's definitely a bit different. Not with any spectators, but hopefully this season we can have some spectators come watch the races.
It would be good if we could get everyone down there. I think a lot of the fans would appreciate, as it were, to get out of the house a bit more. I think we're all a bit cooped up inside, aren't we? But I said, Maurice, this is something that's, I suppose, quite normal for a lot of us now, having to race behind these closed doors. Do you have a strong support bubble with you that comes to your weekends?
Yeah, it's mainly me and my dad. We've been doing it together for quite a while. I've got my family as well that comes down to some rounds and comes and supports me. But it's, as I said, the fans are not there. The environment's a bit dulled down. Normally there's a good atmosphere at the track, but it is what it is. It's becoming reality now.
Indeed. And just on your aspirations for this year, Maurice, I know you've got big goals for a lot of people. You want to aim to win the rookie title, and from what I've seen, you've been very successful in 2020 with the Junior Formula 1000 rally events, even if it was cancelled because of COVID. You've also won several karting titles before that, so you certainly have to be one of the upshots, one of the favourites perhaps for getting a lot of success this year. Do you think that puts a lot of pressure on you, or are you happy to deal with it all?
There's an element of pressure, but you, as a racing driver, you got to learn to put that aside, go out there and do your best. Ultimately, I set my goals high, but I've got confidence and belief that with this excellent team, Fox Motorsport behind me, we can do wonders in 2021.
I was about to say, joining Fox Motorsport, it's a bit of a difference from the teams you've been with in the past. What made you choose Fox?
Fox really came across had a very professional outfit. Also, they've got a lot of disciplines. In GT racing, I'm thinking more of the long term. We can do quite a long partnership with them as I aspire to be a GT factory driver. So it really benefits me having a team that are in a lot of different disciplines, and they've got good experience in the GT racing.
Those connections are always useful, and I think a lot of drivers do find that it is always about who you know and not what you know in certain circumstances, isn't it? So having a good team like this is certainly useful on the TOCA package especially. But it will be interesting to see just how you get on compared to Liam. Obviously there's going to be a bit of a rivalry there between you two, but I assume Maurice, you will obviously have the upper hand, isn't that right?
Not necessarily. Liam's very experienced, but I hope to be able to come up to speed quite quickly. Liam's a good teammate and we share information. The team's set up very well where I can overlap my data to Liam's to see where Liam's gaining time on me or quicker than me. So hopefully we can get up to speed and be very competitive in the championship.
Oh, well, those are fighting words, Maurice. And I'm sure Liam would certainly come back in with a retort of his own, because you can't let the rookie show you up, can you?
Yeah, definitely not.
But Liam, you said because you've had that year's experience now with you, your experience of going around the country, and you know these circuits quite well. Is there anything that sort of stood out from last year as being a particular challenge for you, or even better, a particular highlight from you last year? Because I know you were very successful up at Knockhill, if I'm right in saying. Yeah,
so Knockhill was probably one of my best performances overall. I don't think we had the greatest of qualies, but we managed to fight through in the races, which was always a plus. I think one of the races, race one, I made up 11 positions from 18th, which was definitely one of my standout moments from 2020.
Mm-hmm. As you say, from 18th, there's big grids continuing to be in the Ginetta Junior Championship, as well as a lot of actual championships around the UK. Despite the current COVID crisis, there is obviously a demand for a lot of young drivers to go racing, and it's fantastic to see that championships like the Ginetta Junior are becoming established foot routes for a lot of young 14, 15-year-old drivers. But from this step, as you said, you're aiming to get a couple race wins this season, but where are we going after that?
I'd love to continue in the GT route. I think we'd potentially look at Formula 4, just do a season or 2 seasons in Formula 4, then go back to GT and just continue up the GT ladder, GT4, GT3, and then hopefully into the World Endurance Championships, which I would love to be in.
Oh, fantastic! So a potential Le Mans driver on our doorstep.
I'd love to drive Le Mans.
Oh dear. Speaking of Le Mans, I was reading, Maurice, that you have a particular driver coach. Is that right? With Luke Hines?
Yeah.
Luke's obviously a very successful driver in his own right, from BTCC to some Porsche and Le Mans experience. How has his sort of influence helped you in your karting years?
He's helped quite a lot. He's had a big impact in my early career. He's a very good coach. He's brought me up to where I am now, being able to adapt to certain conditions and new environment, new tracks. That's why I was so good at the scholarship, having never driven the Ginetta before. He's a very good coach, and me and Liam were actually in the same team, so Liam's actually experienced Luke's inputs as well. So he's a very good coach, and he's helped me.
Oh, fantastic! And Liam, you said was your coach as well. What was your what's your highlights with him?
My years in karting, Luke helped me through my Honda Cadet days, which was like early years as much. They were just learning my roots, and just trying to, be more competitive in my early years and help me through my early years as such.
Oh, that's fair. It's been fantastic to see a lot of drivers come through Ginetta Juniors, and I think in recent years, since the success of drivers like Lando Norris who have gone on to Formula One, the championship has become very established for a lot of young faces. But was there anything particular that made both of you pick this series over any of the other championships we have for the young drivers now?
Well, it's just a very established series, really. I found it quite, when I looked at the people that have driven a Ginetta Junior, there was definitely a lot more than what some of the other series had, the better drivers had been in. So yeah, Ginetta Juniors was definitely one of my sort of standout series as such.
Makes sense. And again, for you, Maurice, was this the better alternative than staying in F1000?
Yeah, definitely. I really want to make my career in circuit racing, so I need to be doing circuit racing. I think the Ginetta Junior Championship is very good. It produces close racing as well, and also Ginetta have got like a ladder, so being in the Ginetta Junior category means you can work your way up through the GT route, and it's got a lot of exposure as well, like racing on ITV4 and stuff, so it's good.
Indeed, as you said, you've got that ITV exposure that I think a lot of people do appreciate. But Maurice, just a bit about yourself. Then, you, from what I'm aware, you come from Manchester, but you currently live in Birmingham. How's your growing up life been in karting, and how's that shaped you as a person?
Yeah, karting was very good. It helped you at your roots, as Liam said. You learn the fundamentals. You really start to get into motorsport, and from there, I wanted to take the step further and try and get closer to making a career out of it. So it was really good to start off.
Oh, lovely. What got you into motorsport at the start?
It was really just being around my dad and my granddad. Used to watch a lot of Formula One, and watch it with them. And from there, I used to get into motorsport. But from when I was younger, I always used to like cars. And from there, I just wanted to start driving as early as possible. So when I was 8, my dad let me drive like a hired car, and then it just took off from there.
Oh, fantastic! So it's always the kids that have the passion for it, and the drive that always does well. So it's great to see more young British talent coming through. And obviously, again, for yourself, Liam, you're from Brentwood, if I'm correct in saying so. You've had a lot of a lot of exposure to some very high-level championships growing up.
Yeah, so my dad actually started off racing, and that's sort of how I got into it. And then I was just there at the weekends, and I just loved it, really. I just wanted to drive, so we started off karting, then really just took off from there.
I love it. What was your dad driving, out of interest?
He was he done British GT in the Ginetta GT4, so he's always been around cars. He's driven Ferrari GT3s, Ferrari Challenge. Yeah, that's where I aspire to be.
Fantastic. And so yeah, it's again racing families. It's always in the blood, isn't it? And it comes through. And hopefully we'll see you in the same paddock as him. Maybe we could, father-son teamed out one day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. But obviously, for the time being, it is just Ginetta Juniors for you guys. But it's a fantastic season ahead, and hopefully, we can see you two have some great success. Before we head off, Maurice, any final words about your plans for the season?
No, not really. I just think we can do well as a team. I'm really confident in the team, how the testing has been going so far. We've been making good progress, so I'm happy.
Lovely. And Liam, for yourself, is there any concerns about the contracted calendar that we have this year? Is it going to stress you out having so many rounds in so little time, or are you used to it from last year?
No, last year was definitely a bit more hands-on as such. Like, it was a lot more compact than this year. So yeah, I'm not stressing. It's going to be what it is. So yeah, can't complain.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you both the best of luck moving forward, and hopefully we can see you guys in the TOCA package at some point. Maybe we can get you back on the show and we can talk about some of your race wins or whatever.
Thank you.
That'd be good.
Lovely. In which case, Maurice Henry and Liam McNeilly, thank you very much for joining us on Motorsport Radio.
Thank you.
Thank you.